Good morning. Today is section 133, verses 13 through 25. And it talks about Babylon, it talks about gathering, that sort of thing. Let's just run through it. Verse 14 says, "From Babylon, from the midst of wickedness," just saying, get out. Daniel H. Wells says, "Now we are here in obedience to a great command, a command given by the Almighty to his saints to gather out from Babylon, lest they be partakers of her sins and receive of her plagues. But if we are going to partake of her sins and to nourish and cherish the wicked and ungodly, what better shall we be for gathering? Shall we escape her plagues by so doing? No, there is no promise to that effect, but if we practice the sins and iniquities of Babylon here in Zion, we may expect to receive of her plagues and be destroyed." That speaks for itself. And then verse 18 talks about the 144,000. "When the Lamb shall stand upon Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written on their foreheads." Somehow I missed that in my personal reading last night, but Orson Pratt has something to say about that. "On that occasion, he, John the Revelator, saw 144,000 standing upon Mount Zion, singing a new and glorious song. The singers seemed to be among the most happy and glorious of those who were shown to John. They, the 144,000, had a peculiar inscription in their foreheads. What was it? It was the Father's name. What is the Father's name? It is God, the being we worship. If then the 144,000 are to have the name of God inscribed on their foreheads, will it be simply a plaything or something that has no meaning? Or will it mean that which the inscriptions specify? That they are indeed gods, one with the Father and one with the Son, as the Father and the Son are one, and both of them called gods. So will all his children be one with the Father and the Son, and they will be one so far as carrying out the great purposes of Jehovah is concerned." So, isn't there one of the religions who believes that only 144,000 people will go to heaven? That is a very, very low number. Here, it just means that there's 144,000 who will be so in tune with God that they will have his name written on their foreheads. 25. We can do one more. Joseph Smith, talking about verses 23 and 24, talking about the land of Jerusalem and the land of Zion shall be turned back. "There shall be famine and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places, and the prophets have declared that the valleys should rise, that the mountains should be laid low, that a great earthquake should be, in which the sun should become black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon turn to blood. Yea, the eternal God hath declared that the great deep shall roll back into the north country, and that the land of Zion and the land of Jerusalem shall be joined together, as they were before they were divided in the days of Peleg." That's in Genesis 10:25. No wonder the mind starts at the sound of the last No wonder the mind starts at the sound of the last days. He wrote that in 1835. So a lot of this chapter is about the second coming. The second coming of the Lord. And I recommend the podcast. Even though it's very long, they talk about these things, okay, which one is figurative and which one is literal? Is the moon actually going to be turned to blood? That sort of thing. And no man can say for sure, I think, unless you're the prophet. But when you're talking about signs of the times, I think we have plenty of them in our day. And we can see surely that the second coming is close at hand. We see plagues and pestilence and earthquakes and, just general, not unhappiness, but signs that the second coming is at hand. The bridegroom cometh. This is it. Yep. Go ye out to meet him. Prepare yourselves for the great day of the Lord. All right. That was section 133, verses 13 through 25. I will see you tomorrow.